Peace and love.
Recording in progress.
Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. You're now rocking to the sounds and vibrations of your boy, Don Kilam, also known as Malik Kilam. And as always, prosperity is your divine birthright. Peace and love. I just got to tap in with the people today. Everybody's going into 2026. It's not New Year's, by the way. The New Year starts in spring. I just want to throw that out there to everybody. The New Year starts in spring, rebirth. Y'all got to think about it. Y'all got to think about that. And me and the public as a more, if I'm going to celebrate Christmas, I celebrate it on January 8th. So I just want to throw that out there. That's when all the my soul tribe, if they lock down or whatever, they celebrating their Christmas on January 8th. They're gonna be eating good on January 8th. You feel me? Shout out to Noble Drew Ali. We give honors to all prophets, past and present. You dig? But I'm gonna drop some game for y'all today. And the reason why I bring up Noble Drew Ali because he's the founder of the Moorish Science Club of America. Okay, and this is what led me to understanding royal families. You have to understand that you're part of a royal family. That's the private life. That's the private knowledge. This is how you get your rights intact. Why can't the government hand out titles of nobility? Why can't the government? Just think about that. Why can't the government hand out titles of nobility? And shout out to everybody in the Zoom class from my school. Peace and love to y'all. They said DK and the snow hats. Love the hats, yes. Shout out to Matt, man. Before I get started, let me know where y'all tapped in and tuned in from, man. I'm live. I'm in Vegas. I'm in Vegas right now. Just came from, we was in St. Louis, Indianapolis. And I'm not going to get deep on this today, okay? Because I was on tour with 607 Unc. Supposed to be linking with Charleston White. I'm not going to get deep on this, but I'm pretty sure Charleston White called the police, and I was arrested. I was in jail for about 5 hours. You can't hold a real nigga down. It was at 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30. I got out at 3. So 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours. You cannot hold a real nigga down. And I still got to the show. The show was ending. I still got to the crew and everything, but it's crazy. And then that happened in Illinois. And then I went to Indianapolis. But yes, I was in jail just 2 days ago for 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours, okay? It's crazy. I'm not going to talk about it too much. We're going to be releasing information about it. But yes, man, shit was crazy. But shout out to St. Louis. We got St. Louis in the building. We got Chicago in the buildings. Peace and love. Let me know where y'all tapped in and tuned in from. We got Hawaii in the building. Shout out to Hawaii. So yes, January 8th, that's my Christmas in the public. But in the private, there's no such thing as time. God created 6 days and rested on the 7th. So everything else is BS. We got San Diego in the building. We got PA in the building. We got Cleveland in the building. We got Providence, Rhode Island in the building. Shout out to Providence, Rhode Island. We got Seattle in the building. We got Florida. They said Florida in this bit. Shout out to South Memphis. I'm bringing some game to y'all today, though. I'm bringing some game. So if y'all tapped into my school, shout out to Massachusetts, shout out to Toronto, shout out to motherfucking Canada. We got New York City, Bam Bay L. Fuck with me. I'm trying to get you on the show or something because you in tune, baby. Shout out to Cleveland. I already shout out to STL, but let's do it again. You can't have hustle without the STL. Get with it or get lost. We got Tampa, Florida in the building too. So the U.S. can't hand out titles of nobility. So I need you to understand. Because I got AI popping up. That's how Google's ran now, right? AI. Shout out to North Carolina too. Y'all tapping in. Y'all must be getting my messages a little slow. But look, so it says, yes, you're correct. The U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 9, Clause 8, explicitly forbids the federal government from granting titles of nobility. And Article 1, Section 10 extends this ban to state governments aiming to prevent hereditary class systems and ensure a word I don't know over inheritance status, okay? Though some debates exist over honorary foreign titles and the custom of retaining political titles. So, Article 1, Section 9, Clause 8 states no title of nobility shall be granted in the United States. No state shall grant any title of nobility. So, when they're giving you titles, Mr., Mrs., I don't care what anybody tells you. This is a slave status in America. There's nothing you can tell me. Mr., Mrs., when you get married, those are slaves getting married when you're using those marriage certificates because this is the title of the marriage. I'm hoping this makes sense. Look at your marriage title. Shout out to Milwaukee too. I'm in Milwaukee a lot. Look at your marriage title, your marriage license. Look at your birth certificate and look at your car title. It's all the same things. Those are titles. A certificate of title means ownership, and whose stamp and whose seal is on the title. It's theirs. Public sector. These are public sector titles, and the public sector cannot hand out titles of nobility. So anytime you have a contract, okay, anytime you have a contract with the public sector, I'm just gonna give y'all all this. I gotta start coming into this like you guys don't know, okay? Since I'm just bringing y'all game, I'm gonna come to. But when you really want my time and attention, you better know what's going on, okay? So the public sector is the part of the economy that's controlled by the government. You can only hand out titles of nobility in the private sector. Listen, and I'm telling you, it's real. It's real. How do you hand down a patent of nobility? How do I know that you're royalty? A patent of nobility is a formal legal document often beautifully illuminated with coats of arms and official seals. Your coat of arms, your family crest that grants aristocratic rank like Baron, Earl, Duke. I am a real life Duke. This stuff is upheld in the courts. In the court system, have got people out of jail with these types of documents. And I'm going to get there with you guys, and I'm going to show you how they work. And associated privileges to an individual or family, creating them new nobles and served as proof of their status. This is a proof of status. When we talk about status correction, proof of status, I'm not going to authenticate a birth certificate, okay? Because a birth certificate, they cannot hand down titles of nobility. So why would I authenticate that I'm a slave? Why would I authenticate that I've given up my royal heirship? Everybody in America came from a royal family. I don't care your race, creed, color, what you look like, blonde hair, blue eyes, whatever it may be. You know, you're blacker than my motherfucking mouse right here. You came from a royal family. You're whiter than snow. You came from a royal family. You were giving up your royalty. Anytime you sign up for the Social Security number, you got one. Not everybody has a Social Security number. You need to understand that. If you have a Social Security number, you came from a royal family, or they're not going to issue that motherfucker. You understand? They're not going to give a fucking Social Security number to somebody that's not of royal lineage because this is a trust. We need your labor. We need your future. We need your future. This is about future money, okay? They don't give a fuck about the, oh, we already know, we got your people. We need you to sign up now. Your people's long gone. We already got you. We already tricked y'all. But that doesn't take from the fact that you're royalty still. They're holding. They can never own. I need you to understand, most of y'all come from an infinite source. Well, everybody. There's some reptilians out there. But look, we come from an infinite source. Look up. I'm going to show y'all something so cold. This is why they don't want y'all to know who you are. Tell y'all, Abraham Lincoln was black. Don't get mad, white folks. And the reason why they're switching up history, because they don't want you to know. All these presidents have net worths. They have family libraries. They all have net worths. Net worths. They don't want you to know Thomas Jefferson was mixed. They don't want y'all to know that's y'all's family. They still have net worths. Thomas Jefferson's around $284 million. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Thomas Jefferson is worth $284 million. Get the fuck out of here. That's why they don't want you to know where the fuck you come from. Go ahead, President. You're part of those royal families too. You over this motherfucker. This is your shit too. This is why they need you to sign up for the system to give up your power. Okay? To give up your power. So you need to understand the reason why you're no longer part of this, because you've given up your coat of arms. You've given up your family seals. You're giving up your thumbprint. That's your fucking seal of you. You understand? Your thumbprint, you're giving it to these motherfuckers. Why would they need your thumbprint? Think about it. Come on. Drop a 100, fire emoji. Let me know that this shit is making sense. Let me know. Let me know that this is making sense. Your thumbprint is the seal of you. A signature is a sign of nature. They need your essence now. They say, when you get this birth certificate, they give you this birth certificate and they say, not only do they own you now in your essence, they're going to own everything from the future of you. Your children will never own shit. You're handing it to us. This is what's going on. All right, got some fire emojis. Y'all making sense? So, people understand, how do I prove that I'm royalty? Private sector. What? So we understand what the public sector is. That's the government, right? So what's the private sector? That's the part of the economy that is not controlled by the government. The part of the national economy that is not under direct government control. You are the private sector. If a mother creates the baby, why a mother cannot create some type of documentation on this baby if we're going to put it in the public? Why the mother can't do that? Because the mother is, if we're looking at it as property, because you have to look at everything as property. You have to look at everything as property in this system. So when you're getting a birth certificate, they're saying this is your creator now. Who manufactured you? And they're putting the government on there. The government has manufactured you. So you have to prove who the true manufacturer is. Same way with the car. When you register your car, you give up true title. You give up true title and you give up true ownership, okay, to the government. The true certificate that you need is a manufacturer's statement of origin for a car to prove that you're the lawful owner. It comes straight from the manufacturer. So a mother can do the same thing. A mother, we used to use family Bibles. We used to record the months and the dates of anything that happened majorly in our family. Okay? And this is good enough in the court of law. Still to this day, you can use a family Bible as identity. You can use a patent of nobility. You're saying your family is a royal family through God, covenants through God. Because you got to understand, when they talk about the Bible, these were royal families that had relationships with their God, and they recorded it. Okay? That's a family Bible. That's their family. If you come from the line of Jesus, then you're a Christian. That's the family Bible. That's your family. So where's your family fit in with this Bible? That's where you have to continue to move forward. All right? And do the same thing. You can use baptismal certificates as identity in this system. Baby land deeds is another one. So the main thing I want y'all to understand now, moving forward, since we got the basis down, everybody's understanding. Yes, custodial records. So now you have to break down what is the Social Security number and what it really means. So we understand that the birth certificate, that's what proves that you're owned now in this system. This is why you propped the sole of your foot on this birth certificate. You sold your soul to it. Your mother handed you over to the government. You made a covenant outside of God now. You made a covenant outside of God now. You understand? Now the devil considers to own you. And you keep going along with this straw man self. You keep going along with this fictional self, saying you're the business now. It's a business. The certificate's title of ownership. You have now just been sold to the system. And then you're issued the Social Security number, which is the trust. So we created the business. Now we got the entity. And now the entity is handing over all its future labor, its future assets, its everything to the public system. Because this is a welfare system. Your Social Security number is tied to a legal name, which is considered a cesta que vi trust. And people need to understand what cesta que vi means. You can only be the beneficiary. And in receiving the benefits in this system with this number, you can be sued for your assets now, and it can be taken. You can go to jail now. You can be obligated to pay fines and fees now. This is the part of the public sector. Your family has now been, you've been placed as property in the public sector. This is part of the economy that the government controls. Hope this is making sense. You can only be the beneficiary of this. The government is now the trustee, and this is why it looks like government has control over you and your affairs. A lot of people don't even realize that they're operating in trust with the public already. Everything you're doing is in trust. You got to understand, trust just means contracts. Now you're creating private contracts. Article 1, Section 10 of the United States Constitution states that the government cannot interfere or infringe on a private contract, which means anytime you sign over your rights and things, the government can't interfere with that because it's private. As long as you're not hurting nobody, damaging property. Most people know that the Social Security trust, but they don't know that the trust is the cesta que vi, which means beneficiaries. They keep trying to use it and make trustee moves when the government can truly only make the trustee moves. This is the public trust, the default trust for public families. Do this. This is a private education right here. Only private families know these things. The Amish know these things. The higher up Jehovah's Witnesses know these things. The higher up Mormons know these things. The Moors know these things. The Social Security number is a representation of this trust because the assets are held under this trust until you die. And then when the number dies, when you die, the number dies. And you cannot pass it on to future generations. It's not perpetual. It's not forever. So with our private trust, it's forever. We can hand these straight directly to our whoever we need to with stipulated in us without probate. It bypasses probate. You gotta understand. You truly equity. You hold equitable title because you hold the res of the thing itself and receive the benefits. So that means you hold equitable title. The one who possesses the equitable right of the property receives rents, issues, profits thereof of the legal estate, which is invested in the trustee. And who is the trustee of the public trust? It's the government. It's never you. And this is the worst trust to be under in the public because you are the beneficiary, because you receive the rents, issues, profits thereof of the legal estate, which is invested in the trustee, which is the government. This is called co-mingling when you try to act as the trustee and the beneficiary, and you cannot do that, especially under antitrust law. Because in the public, the United States holds legal title. So you got equitable title and then legal title. The government is always going to hold the legal title of anything you're doing with the public. All the forms you sign, you're signing. So the United States holds legal title to your estate. You got equitable title, you got legal title. Equitable title means you hold the res itself, R-E-S, res, trustee training word right there. Rest thing. They'll call you the res. In law, res, Latin for thing or matter, refers to an object, property, interest, or status that is the subject of a legal action or right, distinct from a person, often appearing in phrases like res judica, a matter judged. The thing speaks for itself. Res, you are the res when you're going to court. When you're trying to act as trustee and beneficiary, this is called mingling. This is a big no-no. Now, if you don't have a will or trust established, your assets, houses, cars, anything of value has to be administered and handed down through the United States probate courts. The beneficiary always gets taxed because the beneficiary receives the rents, issues, profits thereof the legal estate, which is invested in the trustee. So this is why you have to learn how to maneuver differently. All right? The Social Security number is the beneficiary position. It's called cestike values. You're in cestike values. It's all about owning nothing, controlling everything. The beneficiary is always looking for the handout. So the beneficiary always gets taxed. This is why you have to maneuver a certain way. This is why private families have private family foundations. So they're never taxed when the private family foundation is the beneficiary. Now that's some game for you right there. Then whoever is in your family that you truly would like to be the beneficiary, they get handed down positions of the family foundation so they get to direct where the money go. It's always about being a trustee and owning nothing and controlling everything. The trustee is in control. And this is why you think the government runs your life, because you're using the Social Security trust and the government is the trustees of this trust. That's their position. The United States holds the true birth certificate. You were given a copy. Y'all keep trying to authenticate a copy. Authentication is the proof something's real. It's already been authenticated when it has a stamp or a seal. That's bars right there. Authentication is the proof that it's real. The birth certificate already has a stamp or a seal. Say it again. The authentication is the proof that something is real. The birth certificate already comes with a stamp and a seal. The government holds true title of the birth certificate, not you. That's not you. And anytime you keep trying to claim that it's you, that's putting you in a Roman slave status. Now we know that you didn't come from a royal family because you're using this as identity. And I can prove this because the government cannot hand down patents of nobility. There's no way around it. So anybody telling you to do that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I'm not claiming no birth certificate as mine. The United States holds the true birth certificate. You were given a copy. You'll never get the original one. You can only control what you create. Get it through your heads, people. Stay with me. We can only control what we create. Y'all sitting here trying to use their shit. Use their forms. Signing your whole life in essence over. The United States has legal title. You have equitable title as an owner and hold the actual benefits. And this is why you get taxed as an individual with a Social Security trust. Y'all keep trying to claim money, but the United States is under bankruptcy. There is no money. The trust has been created for you. You can only control what you create. Even though you are doing all the work for the trust, you are still a beneficiary with this public trust. What has happened, here's a key word. Here's a key word I'm gonna share it with my people in the school. It's called amalgamation. Everybody that's on the Zoom meeting from the school, are y'all following along? Is this making sense so far? I would tell you Happy New Year, but it's not the New Year. The New Year starts in spring, okay? Rebirth. Just want to go there, people. So to go there. The New Year starts in spring. That's the rebirth. If anything, shit is still cold out here. Shit's dying. I'm not celebrating no New Year. Ain't no motherfucking new life out this motherfucker. But everybody in the school, let me know in the chat, man. Y'all following along so far. You celebrate Monday, you still celebrating the system. You celebrate that it's Sunday, you still celebrating the system. Because you're going to understand, this is their game. That's their religion. Monday, that's Roman. Moon Day. Sunday, you worship the sun. You're still doing the months thing. You know what I'm saying? June, July, December. What's December? Don't it? That say means 10, don't it? Joan is Julius' sister. Julius Caesar. August is Augustus Caesar. So I need y'all to know I don't celebrate that shit. Create your own royal holidays with you and your family. So y'all have true spiritual meanings and true holy days that you have covenants with your source just for you and your loved ones. You understand? Not to just make money off our people. That's just what I had to say real quick. So back to amalgamation. This is what's happened. Amalgamation is a combination of two or more companies into a new entity. The birth certificate, social security number, your driver's license, they're all entities. They're all private contracts. They're all private trusts. All the trust is a private contract. Why would you need to sign something if you're not giving away rights or giving something up? They wouldn't need your signature. All they would need is say yes or no. They wouldn't need your signature. All they would need is a verbal confirmation. So amalgamation is a combination of two or more companies into an entirely new entity. Amalgamations are distinct from acquisitions in that none of the companies involved in the combination survive as legal entities. They're amalgamating you. They're amalgamating your essence. I want to give y'all the real game because y'all sitting here talking about all this, the bullshit. Y'all be talking about the authentication, all that. Y'all can't sit around and be around private families talking about bullshit that's really not going on and shit you're not going to do that's going to make you wealthy. We're here to get wealth and we're here to protect our assets. That's the only thing y'all need to understand. Learn asset protection and trust law and contract law. We're here to protect our assets. We're here to protect our name. The name is the business. The name has always been the business. This is what we're handing down for future generations, right? Is the name. So you're only here to protect the name. Informed families know this. A public education is not taught about private corporations and private trusts. They're not taught about private stocks. They're not taught about private investors, okay? It is not the public education's duty to teach you this because it's up to your family. And this is why you have to get around these private families because family law is private law. Trust law is private law. Trust law is contract law. I'm going to say it again. Family law is private law. I'm going to Google it for the people who don't understand. I want them to understand who can get you out of jail when you're a kid, your family. They're not going to release you to nobody else. Now, when you become the age of majority, you pretty much abandon your family. Family law is family law private law? Yes, family law is primary a branch of private law. Family law is primary a branch of private law. Private law governs the relationships and disputes between private individuals, businesses, and organizations. Private individuals, businesses, and organizations. Family matters. You understand? Rather than state citizens, which fall under public law. There's the key word. This is dealing with private agreements between private parties, including contract law, family law, corporate law, and property law. This is all private law. But people don't understand private law. They're so stuck on the public system that was taught to you in the public. Family law is private law, and you have to fall under a private family. You have to get your private family together. And how do I know? How do I get a private family together? Private trust. We know you're not part of the private family because you're authenticating a birth certificate. That's public family shit. Ain't no Jewish motherfucker running around with a birth certificate. Ain't no rich Jewish motherfucker running around authenticating a birth certificate. Do what the wealthy do. Y'all sitting here playing. Y'all sitting here playing with slave mentalities. That's what slaves do. Why would you use the same people that's enslaving you? Why would you use their documents? Do paperwork. I'm passionate about this shit, man. I'm tired of y'all doing the same bullshit. Family law is private law. Trust law is private law. Trust law is contract law. This is handed down through private families because no one can tell you how to govern your family. This is handed down through private families. Because no one can tell you how to govern your family. So what has happened is families go to the public for help and give up private rights. She said, I'm tired of doing the same bullshit too. Well, drop that nigga you with and holler at me, baby. Maybe we can do something together. You hear me? 2026. Even though the earth is billions of years old. Legal title gives you control. Equitable title means you receive the benefits. Bam Bayel, girl. I'll stop what I'm doing right now and send the PJ to you, girl. But look, so what's happening is families going to the public for help and they give up the private rights. So being private is being sovereign. All right? Being private banking. This is it. You got to understand private banking because once you start creating assets, you got to learn how to protect your assets, which you're going to learn how to start maneuvering in the private correctly. So equitable title just means you receive the benefits. Legal title means that's what gives you control. Who has the legal title of this? They issue the documents and titles allowing you to hold and benefit from the Social Security trust attached to your legal name. This is what's happening. They issue documents and titles allowing you to hold your legal name. So this is why you have to learn how to break free from that. You have to learn how to take control of your legal name again. And this is why I make my name a business. And it's deep. I keep breaking it down, the steps to it. You got to have a holding company, family trust, family foundations. The non-grantor, irrevocable, complex, discretionary spendthrift trust is at the top. Then you got the 508c1As, the ministry trust. Then you have the holding companies. Then you have your operating companies, which your name is considered an operating company. The operating companies are member managed, and the holding companies are manager managed, and you're the manager of the holding company. But if you want to remain anonymous, somebody else has to be the manager of the holding company, and then they appoint you as the new manager, and they resign right away. And you do not have to update the status with the Secretary of State because we're moving through the private, and we're moving in the charge and owner protection states with the holding companies. I know that's a mouthful. You better write it down and look it up. You better hit rewind, but I gave you the game. Yeah, I gave you the game. Yes, it's in the school. Make sure y'all text Private Life to 702-200-4900. Again, text Private Life to 702-200-4900. Don Kilam, I've been doing this for years, so this is how I does what I do. I do what I does. So everything is about maintaining privacy. This isn't your natural name, but a legal name, and now a legal person. Again, this isn't your natural name, but a legal name, and now a legal person. And everybody should come up with a natural name or a spiritual name. You can't control this. This is my church name. I wouldn't even allow. I'm not even going to answer something. If my mom truly gave me that name, I'm not answering to you, motherfuckers. So he likes the grill. I'm not answering to you, motherfuckers. You can't call me what my mom calls me. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language. Excuse my language, man. Excuse my language. We're not gonna go in 2026 talking about that. But fuck you. I'm not you. My mama called me that name. Why the fuck am I gonna answer to you? You shouldn't be printing my motherfucking name on this shit. How about we get a trademark? Let's go ahead and trademark the name. Let's go ahead and trademark the thumbprint. Let's go ahead and trademark the signature. Because it's fuck you. Pay me for using the shit my mama gave me. So you gotta understand how important your essence is. You're already a superstar. They need your signature. We autograph things to stay autonomous. Okay? We autograph. We don't sign. You sign in a box at your fucking coffin. Understand that. Sign outside the box. Always think outside the box. Royalty signs at the top right-hand corner. Okay? There's a way to move as a royal family member in the public so they know your royalty. Yes. 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 Giving y'all game now. Yes. 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 Giving y'all game now. Hope y'all caught that. There's a certain way to sign. There's a certain way to handle documents. All of that thing. All of that. All of that. Nothing is personal in the United States. If you're in the United States, nothing is personal. Everything is business. Nothing is personal. Everything is business. The Social Security number is a default trust given to everyone within it. The Social Security number is a default trust given to everyone within it. It's a public Sister trust, like I said, and Sister use just means beneficiary use only. And within this trust, the beneficiary has no rights. Within this trust, the beneficiary has no rights. Who is protected when it comes to the public system? Think about it. Who is protected when it comes to the public trust? Who is protected when it comes to the public system? Not the beneficiary, it's the trustees. The government is protected. This government is this Social Security trust insurance is created by legislation. It's used to bail out the government and protect the government. It's insurance for the government. The Social Security trust is insurance, and it's insurance for the government. That's a bold statement. So let me just break this down. I want everybody to know that the Social Security, so yes, insurance can be a trust. Insurance can be a trust. So I'm making bold statements right here. But everything I say, I can back up. So Social Security is officially classified as a social insurance program, not a traditional private insurance policy. It's designed to protect workers and their families against the loss of income. It's designed to protect the government. It's an insurance program. Old Age Survivors Insurance, OASI Trust. And then this is coming from the Social Security website. And then the Disability Insurance, the DI. It is a trust, the Social Security Trust. And everything else is private knowledge. They're not going to tell you anything. So it tells you they hold no money. They go to bonds that are guaranteed by the U.S. government. And it's paid to the trust funds on the bonds they hold. So they pay it to the trust funds. The trust funds get paid. The trust funds always get paid, but it doesn't go to you. It says funds on the bonds they hold. And when those bonds reach maturity or needed to pay benefits, the Treasury redeems them. It goes back to the Treasury. It benefits the government. It's a trust fund that benefits the government. Always. Because you gotta understand, if this is insurance, don't you get to pick your premiums? Don't you know you get dividends on paying in the insurance? Don't you know insurance comes with dividend checks? Monthly dividend checks. Did y'all know? That's what you're getting in your mail every day when you think you're getting a bill. These are dividend checks based on the Social Security trust, but you don't know how to maneuver correctly because you've only been given the something for nothing mentality, which is the beneficiary mentality. You got to learn how to grow a trust. And when you start learning this, you're here to multiply. Grow your trust and grow your family. Grow your family, grow your trust. It's a family trust. So when you start learning these things, you'll start maneuvering correctly. You'll be acting as an entrepreneur. You'll start creating. So the government is the trustee and controls this trust. And this is why people think that the public trustees control them. This is why people think that the public government controls them. They're public trustees. And at any time you can stop using this number and control how these benefits are distributed, and you stop receiving them personally. You got to stop being in an individual capacity. You got to stop being in that persona. You can be a trustee, but you can't be in the public, you can't be a sole trustee and a sole beneficiary. So that's what's going on with this. Is you have to understand doctrine of merger. So when you have your estate planned properly, you're handing down something to your future generations, your future businesses, whoever your beneficiaries are. The family foundation your children should be in control of. You can't do this with the Social Security number, only a private trust. You have family members step up as successor trustees, and there's no taxes. It's about owning nothing, controlling everything, and dictating where the funds go. Trust can distribute 100% of tax liabilities to its beneficiaries, and that's what's going on with the public trust. Public trusts are governed under state statutes. Private trust is your law. I hope this makes sense for everybody. I dropped a lot of game for everybody. I just want to drop some game going into 2026. This is your year to change. This is your year to do things differently by understanding that your name is truly the business. Learn how to start protecting your name, opting out of the system. And you can start by learning how to become tax exempt, getting the family foundations. Learn how to become tax exempt, because this is why a lot of people cannot acquire wealth. You're getting taxed on your paycheck, you bring it home, and then everything in the world, you're getting taxed on again. So you'll never become wealthy that way. We all know when we even maneuver within businesses, a business pays less taxes than an individual. So why wouldn't you want to make your name a business? Starting off there, Y'all want to book a consultation? Text Private Life to 702-200-4900. The price is going up. The price is going up. I got questions and answers. I do them at least once a month in the school. I do not answer questions to the public. I keep about my lives when that happens, because y'all get on my nerves. Google's free. You can ask your mama, you can ask your daddy. That's free, because your family was supposed to be the ones who taught you this. So if you're sitting here begging people to teach you something, they're not going to do it. Do it yourself. You have to invest in your private education. Nobody likes a beggar, especially a begging ass man. You sit here begging a stranger for questions. Pay me, it's business. It's nothing personal, it's business. Get the fuck off my line with all the questions. I'm not with the shit. You understand? You want to pick my mind, I need to pick your pockets. Fair exchange isn't robbery. This is my job. I come into this motherfucker giving y'all game, and y'all still want to keep asking fucking questions for what? Fuck you. Pay me. Get the fuck off my line. Don't care how you feel. I'm out.